living in your aquarium live stream, just hanging out, catching up with y'all. It's the Friday stream, the My Day stream. So I hope everybody's having a good Friday. Why is it so foggy? This drives me nuts. There's no humidity or anything. It's just like a focusing issue with the YouTube app when it starts up. Does anyone have suggestions on where I can look online for a specific betta? I've asked around here, no betta breeders have the one that I'm looking for. If it's wild, I know some people who breed wild bettas. But other than that, I mean, you kind of just have to, maybe do a Google image search and then find someone like selling it on the Google image search. And then go from there, like contact them again and be like, hey, you have any more of those mustard, or whatever, half moon, blah, blah, blahs, whatever it is you want. So, how's everybody doing? You know what's funny is I started the stream, and according to my analytics or whatever you want to call them, the little info on the, on the live stream, here. It says that since I started, we went from 31 people in the waiting room to 28. So literally people jumped ship once I started, according to my screen. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm doing it through the actual YouTube app. And I just ordered a new webcam, a 4K webcam. The problem is it'll stream okay and well. Well, it should stream pretty well through YouTube, but it may not stream the best through StreamYard, which is what I prefer to use because I'm paying $55 a month for it or whatever it ended up being. So yeah, let's see here. Who else is in here? Let's scroll all the way back. Oh yeah, Silver Creek Aquarius, good to see you. Sketty Nona, what's going on? Sky Dancer, what's going on? And Jeff Kane, what's up? Tickets to Space. Petition to change Alex's name to Sir Alexander. I'll take it. People, I can't even get Alexander out of people. People are like, that's an Alex, not an Alexander. Jasper Borg, hello and welcome. Chris Robertson, what up? How's it going, man? You're going to be driving, so at least I get some good driving listening. It's better than dumb country music around there. Huh? Dumb country music? Is there intelligent country music? I must be informed of this new genre of country music. Let's see here. First Class Fish, what's up? Nirvana Aquatics, what's up? Stephanie D, good to see you. Fanaticals, K-Day, hello, good to see you. First Class Fish, I like the name. I like the sunset with the little shrimp icon you got going right now. See, I don't usually share it in public, but I have severe depression. The hobby heals for sure, and people like all of you are part of that. Well, cheers to you. Wait. No, do I really not have even an empty Dr. Pepper can around? So, let me tell you why. Well, I guess we'll see who else is in the chatting real quick. Let me get caught up. Seth Fernandez, what's going on? Verily, KC, what's up? Good to see you. And if you do want me to see something or know something, then definitely at The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium or at Alex even helps. Davo, what's up? Crypt Keeper Aquatics, what's going on? Steve Hubbard, hello. And Curtis St. Martin, good to see you, brother. Street Trash, what's up, brah? Canadian Stoned on Gaming, good to see you as well. Jimmy P, good to see you, sir. Good to see you for sure. Hove Aquatics, what's up? Regina Phalanges, what's up? Love saying your name. Hey, listening and driving. 503 Aquatics. Looks like we got a lot of listeners and driving. Stop! Did I get you stopped? No? I probably pissed someone off with headphones. Aquapuncture, what's up? Good to see you. Pisces, man, I thought that name was claimed. Oh wait, you don't claim the handles. I guess you can have multiple. Anyways, Michael Harity, what's up? Michael from New Jersey. Well, welcome aboard the mothership that is live streams. Brian Levy, what's up? 3G doing new ropefish dance. Right on. I got some new footage of some ropefish that are at one of the local stores. Ooh, and I got some new footage of I'll edit it probably tonight or tomorrow. But it is I filmed for probably I feel guilty, but probably an hour in there. And I filmed at magic hour, which photographers call like that 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the time of year, when the sun is like about an hour from going down and everything just lights up with this warm ambient light and the shadows are cast super far and you can get out of the way of shadows easily and all that. But it was doing that through the window of the fish shop onto these cichlids, and they were a pair of Madagascar Gold Coast golden East Coast cichlids of Madagascar, and they're a real unusual. I think they're called Pterochromis or Pterochromidae, and then what's the rest of them? I forget. I wrote it down, but they're a real unusual Madagascar cichlid, and stuff from Madagascar basically gets shipped out if, like, Dr. Lozelle decides that he's going to ship it out, or if some really rich individual travels there and wants to collect some fish. But there are 14 species of rainbow fish alone in Madagascar, and like they haven't even made it out. Like I think only 3 or 4 of them have. And obviously the one is real famous and all. Fishymon64, what's up? I got Sir Alexander from him too, right on. Craig, what's going on, buddy? Elder Pinto, 2 a.m., need to sleep. Well, no sleep for you. Mick, what's up? 186 Element, what's going on? Good to see some of the old faces. Tennessee Aqua, what up, brother? And who else is lurky, jerky in here? Screamin' Fly Productions, lurk. I see you. Could you guys just a tappity tap that like button for me, please? The thumbs up. Unless you hate me, then don't. Then just don't. Just leave. I don't even need you. All right. So, yeah. I don't want to like just complain in this stream, so I'm going to keep this portion limited. But let me just tell you what's in the bags. What's in the box? What's in the box? It's a head. So essentially last week my wife went out of town and she went camping on a beautiful glacier lake. And I had things to do, and there was no reception or anything for a few days up there. So if I'd gone, I wouldn't have done the fishery, and things would have been kind of jumbled. Plus, I had a few doctor's appointments, which I didn't really go into. Fanatic Al, and you say, I am British, so please complain. I love it. Yes. So anyways, I didn't get to go camping with her. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. That's a bummer. And then I was like, well, let's go to Florida when I go to speak in September. So September 10th, I'm speaking Central Coast of Florida. Let's go see the Blue Springs and let's go fish collecting. Let's go snorkeling or see the manatees, do the things. And my wife's like, no, I don't have any time. My work is just crazy. Sorry, I can't do it. And I was like, okay, fine. And then she goes, oh, but we got my family reunion in Ohio. And tickets right now are $996 or whatever it was. Something ridiculous. for each of us to get to Columbus from Seattle. And so we're gonna do that, and then the hotel was $300 a night because I'm allergic to dogs. She is too, but not like to the point where like I am, where I just can't breathe and I get hives and asthma and all that stuff. So finally, after some talking, I said, you know what, you go. It's your extended family. I don't know any of them, and your mom literally does not like me. My mother-in-law is like the stereotype of a mother-in-law. Like basically, so she, okay. Hey, what's up, John? Good to see you, John Manro, and also Discordia creates. What's up? Good to see you. Yes, I am coming to Florida. Verily, verily, Casey. I'll be there on September 10th for a week. I'm planning a week trip before and after with the 10th dead smack in the middle so I can fly cheap on like a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it ends up being that works. But mother-in-law, she grew up in Ohio, but now she's retired in the Villages in Florida. And she cut off everybody in the family other than my wife. So she has two other children that she does not speak to. I don't know how you do that to your kids. Like, I don't care what they did. I just don't know how. I just don't know how you would like cut them off. But in any case, she has a daughter that she hasn't spoken to in like 10 years, I want to say. So it turns out she adopted this girl from when she was like 22 years old, was married at like 19 to 22 or 23. Then that husband she had died in a car wreck, so she was left alone in the 60s with a daughter that was adopted. And so that it wasn't any sort of scandal in at that time in, I think she'd moved to Nashville, so in Tennessee, they didn't want a single, woman or whatever to have a kid. So she hurried up and got married again to just any old guy, got pregnant. That happened to be my wife's brother. And then my wife came along. They never got along, it seems like, in their marriage. And then they split up. Then she's been married like 5 other times. And she doesn't speak with any of those guys. She doesn't speak with her sisters, my wife's great aunts. And yet somehow, all of a sudden, she has like some kidney issues and stuff, and she regales in horror as she realizes her mortal coil has begun to unshed, and she decides that she's going to have a family reunion and invite everybody who doesn't get along at all from all over the country. And when I met her mother, she had 2 dogs. She knew I was allergic, really allergic, like hives allergic. Like she'd seen pictures of like when like a dog licks me, it leaves welts to the point where like it's bad. Like I don't know how to go into it, but like I got some like eczema or like rash type stuff going on now. It's like nothing compared to if I get licked specifically by big dogs, game over. And so she brings her 2 boxers to the meeting place, which is a restaurant that says no pets allowed anyways. She brings them in, she puts up this stink about how they're service animals or whatever, and they're not. And they're really unbehaved. And so they're jumping up and like trying to get shit off the counter and whatever. And so, any case, dogs are out of control. She walks in, they jump all over me. One of them like rips part of my shirt with its claw because they're boxers. They're good sized dogs, like large boxers. And because it clawed me like that, it also caused a reaction where I started having asthma. So I go outside and I go outside and I'm like, I need some air. I'm having asthma, and so I take an inhaler. And I'm having a rough time, and I'm just trying to get my breath back, and I'm starting to get hives on my throat and neck because it clawed my stomach, and they also licked the crap out of my legs. We were in Florida. And she comes out and she's like, well, it's not very fun when your husband ruins our first encounter by pretending he's sick. And I'm like literally like having hives, and at the restaurant they're like, do you need an ambulance? Like they were really worried. So in any case, so yeah, she's a peach. So I thought, okay, whatever, she's eccentric. So then we get to sit down, and the first thing she ever says to me face to face, other than like, hello, nice to meet you, or whatever, she was fairly nice that way. But she goes, you know, and my wife and I, by this point, had already set a date. It was like 4 months away or 5 months away. Like, we've been dating 3 years. Her mom just doesn't come out to visit her here in Seattle. She's come out once in, I think, 10 years. And Laura's been out here like almost 17 years now. And I think her mom came once or twice the first few years, and then once for our wedding. But any case, so I'll hurry this up. We sit down and she goes, you know what? I always wanted my baby, my daughter, to be happy and to have a man that would take care of her, a real strong, caring man, and somebody who'd provide for her financially. And I'm just really glad she got one of those things at least. And I just had to sit there and be like, mm-hmm, cool. And I was tattooing and doing graphic design and working at Trader Joe's and doing murals, so I had 4 jobs at that point. And I was making about 45 or 50 grand a year, but that was not enough for her. I should have been a banker or something. And she straight up said that. She's like, oh, yeah, you need to, if you guys are going to have a family, you're going to need to provide a whole lot more than that. So yeah, anyways. Yeah, which one did she get, Rebecca? I think it was somebody who loves her, because it wasn't the money. I'm assuming she doesn't think I'm real manly. And then I'm assuming taking care of that whole thing. I don't think she thinks that either. So anyways, she's just been a pleasant factor in our lives. And my wife is the favorite one for sure. So, anyways, every time she goes to visit her, like, we want to go to Florida to visit her old friends because she went to college in Florida and spent 10 years in Florida in between Ohio and Florida, or Washington. And so she spent her like 20s living in Florida in Clearwater Beach. And yeah, so we go there and I'm like, don't tell your mom we're here. Like, we were having a good time with friends. We're like 5 days into like a 9-day trip. And of course she has to call her mom and invite her to our beach house that we rented for like 3 grand. Like, we saved for two years, didn't go on vacation at all. Matt Dowling, what's up? I'm glad you made a live stream. You just get to hear me bitch for a little while. And then we'll talk about all these fish I have sitting here. But so, anyways, I dodged a bullet. I'm not going there. I just said, I'm not going. Like, she can come out here and see me. She doesn't like me. And literally, I was like, last time we went to go see her in Florida, where she lives, down in the Villages, which is like this really creepy Stepford Wives, like, retirement city village of like 50,000 retired old people, mostly right wing, like super patriotic, like the white picket fence, American flag, like has to outdo the Joneses, like just kind of like your 1950s, like Stepford Wives, like, but with alligators. And yeah, and now it's kind of shifting to baby boomers and not her generation, because she's like maybe the beatniks, or like the rock and roll generation of the 50s is when she was, young, in the early 60s when she was young. So she doesn't really like them long-haired hippies that are 75 or whatever. She was just more conservative. But when we went down to Florida, I was like, hey, Gail, just tell me, do you want me to be around, or do you just want to see your daughter? Because if you just want to see your daughter, I can completely respect that. I understand that you don't particularly care for me. So as out of sight, out of mind, just as good. I was just that blunt on the phone. And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. If you could find something to do, maybe we'll go to dinner like once during the week, and that should make Laura happy, right? And I was like, yeah. So we've kind of come to an understanding that we just aren't gonna like ever be close, which is a bummer, because my parents are like, my daughter, like the daughter we never had. Like, and they're just all over the place, like maybe too much, how kind they are to her. Mom's the whole Jewish mom thing, overbearing. Okay, shut up, Alex. This has nothing to do with fish. This has nothing to do with anything. I'm just venting. I'm just using you guys to vent. You've been used. So any case, so then my wife is gone and we don't have vacation planned, and she's like, I don't have any time for vacation. And then for work, she flies away for a week, and then she flies away for 3 days, and then she flies away for a conference for 4 days. Then she was gone for 4 days. She's back a day to 2 days in between all of this, like the last like 4 weeks. And then today she leaves, well, yesterday she leaves for a festival that's like an hour and a half away. I could go. And then we checked the ticket prices, and they were $490 for the weekend. She paid $150 for the weekend, like before they even announced who was playing. And to be honest, I care only about one or two of the artists out of the like 40 that are no one knows. A lot of local people they're trying to promote. But there's like yurt camping, and it's supposed to be like summer camp for adults, and I was kind of like, ooh, that's not what I want to spend my money on. Fish is. I'd rather go camping by a river, not by 40,000 annoying drunk people. So, especially being that I don't drink or smoke or any of that stuff, well, pot or anything anymore. So, she went and left me again. So I'm here alone. And when I'm alone, I have a good time. I get introspective. I also download the entire archive of Seattle's hydrology and GIS public databases. So I literally went and bought a 2 terabyte hard drive so that I could use the internet all the last 48 hours to download every map since 1860 of Seattle, and all the hydrological and the mining, the GIS, like all the reports of all that stuff, because I've been obsessed with tracking the path of the creeks nearby, and the Villages is what it's called in Florida. Yeah, look it up. There's videos about it. It's weird. It's where, if you recall, there was like a Trump parade there with golf carts, and like some people lost their mind arguing over him or something like 4 years ago. And there was like a fist fight of old people, and that's where that happened. Uh, yeah, it's a village is a retirement community that stretches for miles, the size of a town. Yeah, it's like 58,000 people in this like planned living. It's not like a retirement home. It's like a not even assisted living. It's just a gated community that's huge, with like 15 golf courses or whatever, like 8 golf courses and a bunch of pools and whatever. So, any case, she did buy 2 tickets, Rebecca, but she took her best friend instead of me because she's like, oh, you'll probably be sick with allergies or whatever. So I invited my friend, and I was like, well, I mean, there was that chance that I do have a lot of health issues. So while all that was going on last week, while she was gone, I did a sleep study, and then I also did the take-home sleep study where they put the thing up your nose, and they have the thing around your chest, and they put the light around on your finger like ET, and get your pulse oximeter, pulse oxidation, whatever. They get your oxygen and your pulse. And then also some electrodes that went on my head like a cap, which was real weird. Like I wore this cap, and they plugged these things into it, and they showed me how to set it all up. And so I put all that on, and the problem is I've been sleeping like 2 or 3 hours and then waking up, and then sleeping an hour and then waking up for an hour, and then sleeping for 5 minutes and then up for an hour, and then 10 minutes and then asleep for 20 minutes, and like just chaos. It's just freaking chaos and whatever. Then I went in for the test too to confirm the results or whatever, because they didn't think it was right, because 47 times in an hour the machine went off while I was sleeping for the sleep apnea thing. But this was not just normal sleep apnea, so apparently It's a different kind than just normal sleep apnea. They said it was central neuropathic sleep apnea from a TBI. So basically 28% of, like 28 to 30% of people who've had a traumatic brain injury. Like when I got hit by lightning, I hit the door and then I hit the table, and lightning went through my freaking face and blew a hole through the roof of my mouth and knocked a bunch of teeth out. As y'all know, go watch the video on it if you care, or Google my name and Seattle and lightning strike. There's a video on the news about it, whatever. So I'm just so over it. Like I have no bottom teeth. I'm waiting for implants. I had to get the spine surgery. Now I got $6,000 waiting for the freaking spine surgery. That now I've appealed it once. That's gonna be not. They're not gonna pay for it. They just are gonna say tough toots. We told you it was covered. It's not too bad. And then now we've got this thing, and I need to get a sleep apnea machine that's a special one, apparently, because it has to be automated so that it times with my REM. Like, I have to wear a headband and have the nose thing, and then it's automated. And they're like, yeah, this is important so that, you breathe, because what's happening is when you're in REM sleep, your brain is damaged. Your what is it? Your hippocampus, I think they said, is damaged. And I knew that my pituitary gland and part of that area was damaged closer to the brain stem, because Laura and I can't have kids, and that's been a whole other amount of stress. Like, we were planning on kids. We had a kid that didn't make it past like 12 weeks. So that's in the past, though. So whatever. I mean, we might like adopt or do something else. But right now we got to pay off bills and do other stuff. Like, we got too many things to do right now. Anyways, so maybe it's all for the best. Maybe I can't afford kids right now. But yeah, so there's just a lot on the plate that way. And so then I got the call saying I need that. And then they're like, oh, but late October at the earliest is when we'll have one for you. So yeah, melatonin will not fix sleep apnea, no matter what kind you have. I mean, if you drank like sleeping pills and alcohol together to the point where you're gonna like die, knocking you out's not helping you get rest. The problem is your brain is stopping breathing, or the weight of, if you're heavy, some types of sleep apnea, you just like the weight of it, and on your esophageal flap or whatever is like closing, and that's why people snore. Mine is like the kind that you don't snore. I just all of a sudden am asleep, and then I go and I haven't breathed for 20 seconds, and my blood oxygen drops really low, and then my heart starts beating like crazy out of my heart. Even though that had kind of slowed down. It happens maybe once or twice a night, and it was happening like 10 times a night that I noticed. But now they're saying no, it's happening 47 times an hour that you're sleeping, according to this test. And then they went to the lab to confirm that, and that one came back as like 42 times an hour. So, anyways, I just got to get the machine. I don't know how much that's going to cost. And they called and they're like, oh, yeah, you're right in line. We take your insurance. And I'm like, oh, my ass, you do. So I don't really, yeah, David, that's already a problem because of the lightning as well and the damage to my lower spine. So yeah, I got that problem about 30 years earlier than I should have. So I feel you on the prostate issues. Little TMI for everyone. I don't care. So in any case, that happened. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you, I do sleep sitting up very frequently. Like, I'll take a pillow and hug it, like a big one, and I'll just put my head on it with my legs crossed, or like kind of in child's pose. And that's how I've been sleeping. Like, and I thought it was because my back was hurting, but now we're figuring out that it's because of that. Yeah, you can rent a machine, and like, you can rent them, but most of them during this whole Schmovid thing, they got converted into like ventilators and stuff. Like they did, I don't know what they did. They took parts from them or did something with them. So yeah, hey Buttface, what's up? So yeah, it's kind of weird. There aren't any available right now. So whatever. I got to read all about it now because I knew what normal sleep apnea was. My dad has that. I figured, oh, it's gonna be that if anything. Like that's why I'm tired. That's why I'm a freaking zombie who falls asleep sitting watching TV or reading sometimes, or I'm just turning into my grandpa, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, I I got the news that it was from the traumatic brain injury, and it's a completely different kind. It's like a neurological based kind on head injury. Connor MoMA, whoa, what's going on, Connor MoMA? Hospital bills suck. Also, do you sell locally? I'm moving back to Washington and want to get as much as I can for my fish room and to keep helping. Yeah, totally. No, on it. Yeah, anybody who's nearby, I sell lots of plants all the time, shrimp frequently, and fish intermittently. A lot of times, the I'll do trades and stuff too, like just swaps, because I hate the prices that shops charge you. That being said, I'm a sucker and I pay them, but I can't bring myself to charge others that price. Um, on most things. So yeah, I'll probably be offering. Maybe I'll set up like something like a page, but I'll probably be selling trimmings of my really rare plants. One, because I want to get them out into the hobby, but two, because I don't want to deal with finding someone nearby and then like maybe they feel like giving me a couple bucks for it, maybe they don't, maybe like just this kind of weirdness. Like if somebody's excited and like very respectful and they want the clippings, then I'm like all about giving them away for free. But I have spent like thousands of dollars amassing the plants I have and trading and going out collecting and hiking places and finding things. So anyways, so that's all just going on and stressed me out. But then the bigger thing than all of that was my first friend in high school. This gal named Zoe. Man, she was hilarious. She was the first of our friends who got a car, and she got a car when I was 13 or 14, I think. Yeah, I just turned 14. And I was younger and she was older, and I thought that was so cool that this chick who lived at the end of the street had what was it, a seafoam green Accord with the sunroof. It was like a 92 or 93. And I just thought it was so cool that she had that car and a sound system with subs and amps and stuff. And so we went to like raves and concerts and punk shows and reggae shows, like you name it. Like we just were all about music and going to shows. And we had a couple keggers at her house because she was a senior when I was a freshman. Yeah, but she was in my neighborhood, so I always kind of knew her growing up. And then like when pot came around, it was like, hey, let's be best friends. Because one of my friends could get it and her friends like weren't reliable at the time or what, I don't know, whatever the reason was. Turned out the reason was that we kind of had a little thing. We had like some puppy love. Never went anywhere. Like we both dated other people or whatever, but we remained friends and all this. And I even saw her like she came to my wedding. I invited her and other friends like to the reception and stuff from my neighborhood. And I got a call the other day that she died from a brain aneurysm. And it's just a real bummer. She's 36 or 7 years old and husband and was breeding show dogs and had a business. And I designed this big old van where she went mobile dog grooming for like dog show level. Like, I don't remember the acronym, but the KCA or whatever, like the Yukonuba Cup and the pedigree. I'm totally making things up. whatever the big shows are, she'd drive across the country for them. And she had a dog that was in those shows, and like she was all about it, and all about like not using harsh chemicals on the dogs, and like thinking about how they're doing, like kind of hippy dippy way of approaching it. But she like bought this van out of like, where was it, Detroit, I think. And then they like drove it back across the country. They fixed it up, put sinks in it, and then I designed the art and everything. Um, So yeah, but she died, and that was not good news. So those are the crap things that went on this week, um, and I just feel real bad. I've known her boyfriend, well, husband. I don't know. I'll always say boyfriend. Will forever be like 16 to 20 in my head, you know. But she did standard poodles and bichons, I think is what they're called. Bichons, little fluffy dogs. But yeah, she just had a brain aneurysm. She stood up, said I had a headache. Her husband said one of her pupils was giant, which is what happened to my mom, by the way. Was, same thing. One pupil huge, one teeny. Felt dizzy, worst stabbing headache pain they've ever felt in their life. And as they were debating whether to go to the walk-in clinic, she fell and like collapsed on the floor and went into convulsions. They took her, they air flighted her from a nearby school, I guess, through traffic and everything to downtown, to our like head trauma, the highest level trauma unit we have in Seattle, which is Harborview, and they have like the best physicians in the world for brain surgery, like up there, Tel Aviv is another good city. Houston, Boston, who else? London, yeah, and Tel Aviv. Those are kind of the big cities for the brain surgery for aneurysms and stuff. And they had two of their good doctors on, and when they got there, they couldn't do anything. And she was kept alive for like a week or something, and nobody was told about it. None of us friends or anything. Just the husband knew. And they were able to give her organs and save the lives of 8 people, like with a kidney, the heart, the liver, whatever. Total of 8 people for sure, like life or death if they didn't get that organ and tissue. And then another 62, I think they said, would get like, knee ligaments or tendons and corneas. And so, yeah, that's the one bright lining, was that like everything but her brain was intact and well cared for. Not a smoker, not a drinker, anything anymore. I mean, we used to be crazy when we were kids, but she's been very straight-laced. She's in the freaking professional poodle prancing world. But her husband and her got together at 17 and 18 years old. In our friend group, they were like, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, all through high school. And then one's senior year, one's junior year, they got together. And they've been together for 19 or 20 years since. And never spent like a day apart after that. Like they were just so in love. So I really am worried about him. He's another friend of mine too. It's just he's all alone now. So yeah. Anyways, I've lost a lot of people in my life. Probably just even since this channel's been on, it sounds like I've lost a lot of people, and I have, and it sucks. But it really sucks when. Yeah, Jim, I'm sorry to hear that you had one too. I had a friend on Christmas Eve who had one, and then my mom's second aneurysm, which like really did her in. That was on 2 days before Christmas. So I don't know what it is, like the stress of that time of year or something like that. That and my prom date. Also, she died most likely of an overdose. But aneurysm was the official cause, because I guess that happens. Like your heart doesn't beat and then like tries to beat too hard, and then there's like a bubble or something. I don't know what happens, but apparently aneurysm's a common cause of death with heroin. So she was like going to rehab the next day, and she like got stuff and was gonna like have one last hurrah or whatever, and she died. But everyone else that I've known hasn't been up to anything nefarious or bad, quote unquote, by society standards. They've just dropped from an aneurysm. So I feel like those things haunt me. I know they do kill like 1.4% of Americans or something like that. So statistically, it happens, but it's just fucking sick of it. So let's talk about something fun. Sorry, guys, I just complained way too long, but you guys are my friends. You guys, sometimes I answer questions. Haven't seen any really come through that were like, hey, I need to know about this or that. So you guys are being my support system today. I appreciate it. But I got this variegated Lundernia, which looks like little watermelons. Love it. You know, I think it's a cute plant. I'm excited about it. I know it's common on the East Coast. Not. Holy cow, Regina. Regina, thank you so very much. She said, I paid off my credit card, bought myself a new tank, and this is for you. $100. Holy cow. Wow. Thank you so much, Regina. That really, really means a lot to me. That kindness the kindness obviously speaks volumes, but just with everything going on, like I've been eating, Nally's chili 6 days a week or whatever. I don't need to be living like that, but I don't ever want to ask my wife for money just because of some gender stereotype pride thing. I always have to have 50% of the bills, no matter what kind of thing. Like, that's the goal. And with medical stuff, I've had to lean on her, and I hate that. I want to be there for her with the money, that kind of thing. But I really appreciate it. Just thank you. Because sometimes it's just frustrating when you just, you're working your hours, you're doing your things, you're doing your side hustles, and they're just like only so much you can do. And then you just are exhausted by the end of it. But yeah, I want to know why one of my corridors has a slightly more orange fence than the rest. Do you have any idea? I have a video posted on my channel. I've been trying to figure out my local fish. Face, is it? Is it you're talking about the face? And it's probably because some are orange, like Venezuelan orange ones. If you have those, as they get older, they turn like a light rusty color. Whereas when they're young, they're like electric orange and blue, like metallic blue. So it could just be the age, could just be variation within the species. Which, speaking of, check this out. Oh yeah, Screaming Fly Productions pink guppies are very cool. They are the flamingo ones. They're super cool. Super, super cool. You seeing them in public though, like the Pingu ones, the Chinese bred ones originally, they're really interesting. They're like these soft, like almost look like pastel colors with the iridescence there. Silver Creek, I'm not empathetic enough to share in misery, but I'll be damned if someone is going through something by themselves, lest it's something they need to go through by themselves. And there are some things. Yes, no, I totally understand that too. I do have to say, Alex, your fans are among the kindest people in the hobby, and it's why your live streams are my favorite, even with the off-topic conversation. No, I totally agree. I mean, you guys are curious. You guys are empathetic, and you guys are intelligent. That's just across the board. I can say that about like almost all the viewers, and specifically everyone who is engaged here. And those are the qualities that I would want in a friend, that I would want in a kid if I raised a kid or whatever. You know, like those are the things I want to see in the world. And so I am so happy that people notice that about this community, that like we have that here. And I build off the vibe and energy that you guys put out, and you do the same. And it's a give and take. And part of it is just being open and honest and having the communication that no, I'm not having a good day today. I'm feeling like crap. And this is going on. Blah blah blah. And other times it's, yeah, I'm going to tell you all about the Latin name of, you know, this genus and the history that's super dry about X, Y, and Z. Other times it's going to just be talking about nothing and laughing and telling jokes. But I really do appreciate that about this community. I really do. And I'm just a big... Don't you dare call me intelligent, Liquid Zoo. Oh, stop it, you Mr. Web Wizard. Ken, it's good to group share. I need a good group to share my tanks. Well, come and share them on Facebook if you'd like. If you're on Facebook. Evan, it's wrong to be empathetic. What a piss poor take. I could also understand that point of view too. I'm just not in the mood to argue, but I hear all sides of this. You're camera shy and not sure you'd be willing to put videos on YouTube. Well, I mean, that's a fine. If you just want to share some pictures, we have a big old Facebook group with like 1,000 some members, probably more than that now, that I try to keep track of. There's been talk of making a Discord, but there's some stuff about the way Discord is run and like the future of the company that I'm not stoked about. Okay, so speaking of morphs and weird varieties, I want to show you guys a yellow red phantom Tetra. Look at it. And it's got a dorsal fin that's split. I want to know if this is even a phantom Tetra. So it was $3.99. So inexpensive, really. And look at that. It's like gold compared to the other ones. I mean, they're stressed. They were like bright, bright orange at the store. But look at that one. I mean, they all have a little bit of gold, but that one right there with the black dorsal tip that splits open into several dorsals, like 2 dorsal or 3 dorsal rays. It looks like 2. It's all yellow with a red. I don't know. So I'm wondering if it's another Tetra altogether. Or wait, are these? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are Bleeding Heart. I don't even freaking remember. Why can't I remember anything? I thought Phantom. Is Phantom not right? Do these have the little heart? I can't even tell if it's the heart. No, I think it's just the diamond. I don't know. There's something. Remind me of the Von Reel. Yeah, they had those too. It was kind of interesting. This is that, yeah, Bleeding. Yeah, I think they are Bleeding Heart. I think they are Bleeding Heart skirt Tetras. But they don't, actually, they don't look quite like, I don't know. There's something or other. Is there a Phantom Bleeding Heart? But yeah, I've never seen it with the split fin. And yes, they are Tetras. That's what they are. They are fish, they are Tetras, and one is yellow or gold. And it's special. I'm going to put them in my big tank, but I kind of want to quarantine them for a while just because they... one of the fish in the tank had ick. So, like last time I was there. So, yeah. Okay, so the next thing I got are these. Now, these, Mick might know. Yellow Red Phantom. Okay, I will look up that and see if that's a thing. So, these are beautiful little black line cichlids. I think they're from French Guiana. And they're very small. They're really colorful when they're in low acidity water. They're from very acidic water. And I can't remember if they actually have their full Latin name worked out yet. I wrote it down on my phone, so of course I can't check it right this second. But hey, just ate a piece of duckweed. But they're super cute, and yeah, they're long, like the Nanochromis are. So I'm excited about these guys. I have to decide for sure which tank to put them in, but yeah, they got yellow eyes and blue. I mean, they're very, very colorful when they color up. They're like long apistos. So I bought those two. Can you see a theme? I got depressed, so I bought things. I know the large one looked like an agassiz. Yeah, it's been stretched out for sure. And then I got these, which are Hong Kong long fin yellow meteor minnows. And there are a few females in here that are just like ready to pop with babies. There's two. But look at those fins. Isn't that freaking beautiful? And they weren't cheap. They were like $12 a pop. Hong Kong longfin. Sky Dancer, this fingernail polish is from Walgreens. It is a Sally Hansen 2-part gel polish, and I only bought the first part, so hence why it's falling off immediately. But, yeah, these little guys, gotta love these. I was at Aquarium Zen. I go to Aquarium Co-op sometimes too. The last 2 times I bought stuff there, I got some, like, illnesses and stuff, or fish died within like an hour of putting them in. Those hatchet fish, if you guys remember, that I bought there, I bought 6 and they all died within that night, which I've had hatchet fish many times in the past, and I just feel like that shouldn't happen. So yeah. So then I also got a couple little replacements. I got a male Luminatus, a Pseudomagil Luminatus, and a female Pseudomagil Luminatus. And then I got 2 female and a male. Oh, wait. I got shorted. Well, I'll check the receipt. But I got either male and a female. Yeah, male and a female. Threadfin. So I have them in tanks already, these ones, but I'm low on females, so that's why I wanted females. But I got a male and a female of each. I should have checked the bag. Instead, I just smiled, nodded, and kept talking my dumb face off while I put them in the bag. So yeah, I'm excited about those fish. And then also, come with me, and you'll see a land of pure imagination. Yeah, I mean, I walked out of there for $160. Felt much better with my life. Meteors and white clouds, so they're not the same. So the tan minnow is usually what's called the white cloud minnow, and that is from China. It's from the Hunan province of China up in the mountains, and it was found by a Boy Scout in China under Chiang Kai-shek's regime named Tan. That was his name, his first name. And Tan found this fish and in a stream and caught it, and they were like, oh, cool, let's name it after him. So they, the common name was named after him. Then they ruined that area with camping, and then later industrial stuff, and then development. Fish went extinct, but there were enough in the hobby that they continued on. And then in 1998, I want to say 97, in Vietnam, which is near the Hunan province of China, in the mountains, they found a similar minnow, and they were like, is it the same? Is it different? Whatever. Then off the coast of Vietnam, they found a bright red variety on this high coastal mountain on karst stone, which is really rugged looking. If you've seen those pictures of those islands off the coast of, uh, what do you call it? Vietnam. Anyone ever kept sparkling gouramis alongside an opaline? I have not kept it with an opaline. I've kept them with powder blue dwarf females. I've kept them with thick lips, honeys, sunsets, chocolates, crossbar chocolates, and also the samurai gouramis. But I've not kept them with 3 spots or opaline or golden gouramis or any of the bigger ones necessarily. Yeah, unfortunately. I was gonna show you guys the other thing. Over here, this green water is so green, but we've got 1, 2. Well, now they all go hide, of course. But there's another one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's like 7 or 8 in here left. A bird. I came out here and a freaking great blue heron was out here. So I will need to cover this. But I don't cover it while I'm hanging out inside the house, right inside the door. I think these guys are too small for them to notice, but what was happening was the dojo loaches were swimming up the side of the tank, so I moved the dojo loaches, so that's not happening anymore. And the other thing that happened that was bonkers, kind of sad, but kind of hilarious also, was my little bass ate a stickleback and was dead at the top of the tank this morning, or the top of the pond, and he has holes. He had a spike coming out up here behind his eye. Wait, can you guys see that? A spike coming out there, a spike coming out there, and a spike coming out there, and this is dried in the sun, but this stickleback was wedged in his throat and clearly caused all sorts of bleeding and literally killed that bass. So, and that was a little stickleback that he tried to eat. But yeah, these little sticklebacks, they're no joke. This pond here, Dr. Anthony says he's ready for them. And so I think I got all the sunfish, the pumpkin seed fish, and bass out of here. But some of these stickleback are big. And I've been hit by them before, and ow, they hurt. They hurt real bad when you get smacked by the stickles. So I'm going to try to avoid that. And then also in this tank, now all the tubs and tanks are finally on the what's the word? They're populated. So in here I put a couple piebald, shoot, what do you call them? Gold barbs. That's the word. Is it going to be in here? No. And then a couple, there's lots of plants too that are going to start growing out immersed soon, especially if I just leave it the hell alone. But, you know, that's not my style. I have to monkey and fiddle, like a monkey fiddle. Of course, I'm not going to catch it with a kitty litter scooper. The one of the 9 fish in a 50-gallon container that I can't see into. Of course not. But this green water, man, does it grow fish quickly. It is like steroids for fish. And in here, I put in a while back, we put in the gouramis. And I don't know where they are. I don't want to like muck up their life too bad, but they're in here somewhere. And also a few pumpkin seed fry are in here, because I figured those two would go together okay. They're kind of the same body style, same kind of build. Now pumpkin seed fish get mean as they get older. Yeah, here's one. So they're doing good. Their colors are really bright. They're almost not like white albino. They're almost like orange now, or peach. Well, she just jumped back in. And I know these tubs don't look that great this year. I mean, I've got like water mint growing all over in that one, and now you can see they've all conspiratorially added up in the corner over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I see 7 right now, so there probably still are 9 or 10 in there altogether, but their orange caps are really showing. Those are the ones from the one from Aquatic Arts. And then the last tub, which I need to top off again because it's just nasty green water too. I'm like, how could a fish live in here? And that's why this gross tank or gross tub gets left for fish that I know, like dojo loaches, don't give a damn about the oxygen or any of that stuff. And the cherry barbs that I put in here were so incredibly red, the males, that I was like not even sure if I had a fish. Like, it was so red. I was like, what is that? Is that a piece of glass? So we'll see if we can scoop one up for a second here. But the season is on its full throttle now, which is good. And you know, for a long time I couldn't put anything outside, which was driving me mad because at night it was like 50 degrees every night. But now we're up into the, you know, 60s as the low at night, and that's fine. Yeah, like this is a female cherry barb, and she is like just as I mean, when I got these, they were silver. The females were silver and gray, and she's just as peach as can be. The males, though, oh, here we go. Here's a male. They're like as pink can be. Come on. And orange. Well, now it looks orange because it's in the sun, but over here, like in this lighting, it looks like it's just like ruby red. You'll have to just take my word for that because, well, there you can kind of see it on the tail. But yeah, and they're just living in trash water I would not want to put my hand in. That's for sure. But there are lots of plants in it, and there are lots of little critters in there for them to eat, you know? So from a fish's point of view, as long as it's not some fish that needs like there's no rainbow fish I'm gonna put in there. So there's a lot of like fish that do well in swampy waters that are in there. Let's see here. Oh, you need a drab blue paradise fish, gourami. Yeah, brown water. That was green water to brown water. You are totally right. Patty, what's going on? Good to see you. Lonnie, Lonnie Tunes. Wendy, your natives hike inspired me. I visited a local pond, found a gorgeous plant, need to ID it. Plant, there's an app called Plant Net, I think it's called Plant Net, or Plant Net, I think that's what it's called. That is awesome. It's not super accurate, but it's way better than nothing. And if you can go to that, and it's a common thing, it is very, very accurate. If it's kind of a amorphic, like, oh, that looks like every other plant in the world, then it gives you some bad ideas. But yeah, it's great when it works. Which is true with everything. That was a stupid statement. And my aunt, who passed away this year, she passed away in March. Her lilies that she left my wife and I finally bloomed, and they look beautiful. So I'm stoked about that. What's up, Kenny? How's it going, man? And then let's see here. over in here, this was that stuff that looked like um, bonsai sculpted hedges from my local pond. I talked to Crystal Castleman, who wrote the book on aquarium plants, and she said that this is a lithic or lithia rock, it's called a stone wort, just like there's bladderwort and crystal wort. And it is basically like a carpeting plant or kind of like Sawassertang, where it like clumps. And if you have high oxygen, high CO2, or basically just high flow in a creek, it gets very tight, like a bonsai shrub. And now that it's in a warm glass, just chilling, it's growing quite differently. Almost looks like duckweed the way it manifests at the top, and then there's some actual plants growing out of it. So I've been kind of having fun keeping an eye. And then here, this is the wild Ludwigia, um, not Persicaria, but palustris, Ludwigia palustris. And apparently, Crystal says that I can actually hybridize it with the super red, or with like white whirlwind, or with glandulosa, or rotundifolia. So I have some other ones. Also, I have another hygrophila over here that I found in the wild that's doing well. The water mint is doing well. Water mint over here in its aquatic form underneath, and then its immersed form there. And then the couple kinds of hydrocotyls, or basically moneywort or pennywort, whatever you want to call it. And then also we've got a few other Ludwigia ovalis. And so yeah, it's we're keeping it all native. And out here, Persicaria maculosa, keeping it all native. And each tub is just filled to like 2/3 of the way up with plants, and I'm just gonna let them grow up and out. But if you guys were watching last week, remember when I said some of these fish are almost an inch long? These are easily over an inch long. This green water is like the best steroid miracle food you could have for little cyprinids and little fish like rice fish and stuff like that. They just love it. And to me, I'm like, can't, like, it's like almost like a sludge, the water. But you look at it under a microscope, and it's just like green algae cells galore, these little globs. And then there's all these other little critters, little plankton and stuff that are just going wild in there. So I think Mikey likes it. Wait, I don't want that closed. I want that open. It's hot in here. It is 82 in here. Snuck up on me today, that's for sure. So yeah, I've got, so to be or not to be, the question is these guys. Do I put them outside and risk raccoons or whatever else? In that green water, their babies could be miraculous. Or do I keep them indoors and, try to spawn them indoors? Because they're pretty awesome. Like, I want to look at them. But I also bought them because they're tough enough to be outdoors. So I don't know the answer yet. But those, we'll see. Then these little guys, he colored up a little bit more. Come back. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll only put like 2 of the females and 1 male outside. So there's that little. Well, of course, whenever I get close, he it's like he knows he's on film, on video. Yeah, maybe I will put a screen. I mean, the other thing is, it could just get too hot in that pond. Like, that's the other problem with the outdoors. There is just sometimes stuff happen with outdoor tanks, or blue heron rips thing off the pond, or coyote rips net off pond. So I don't know. But I'm gonna think it over while maybe I'll QT them, fatten them up, get that female. Maybe I'll try to separate the genders first. That might be a good idea. Ah, Kenny, you lucky dog. 3 days and a wake up, and you go to the ACA, the Triple Crown, the glory. Glad to hear it. I'm excited for you, even though I hate you. No, I'm just jealous. That's really cool. Oh, other update. Dylan's Fish Room, what's up? Science Gal, what's up? So, Cophifolia, when it doesn't flower underwater, it looks real crazy. I wonder if it's a self-pollen. I need to read about it. I'll have to read in Crystal Castleman's book about aquarium plants. I don't know where I put it. But let's turn the light on. Oh, you shut the light on my life. Alright, so wow, nothing's really growing immersed in this tank. That's weird. I mean, this is basically just, oh good, we've got lots of little baby blue shrimp. Oh, and planaria. F that. I need to get some no planaria or something. Look at that. I just put my finger right into that. Damn you, planaria. Damn you to hell. But there was baby shrimp right there. They were so cute. There were like 5 baby shrimp right there with the planaria. Probably, I mean, that's why, because they're eating something, little jerks. There's some baby shrimp. There's more. There were like 5 altogether there. You'd think I'd learn with my Aqueon heaters, but no. I'm just not using the Pro anymore. But there's no fish in here right now. I just keep using it to try to breed, well, there's shrimp, but I keep trying to breed micro rasboras. And then in here, holy cow, that's cold feeling. In here, we're just growing for fun. We're just trying different variants. Like, look at this guy. He's real interesting. What? I was like, it is rotated. Stop telling me what to do, thing. But look at that. It is pink and green, variegated. Whereas it didn't do as well when this is the ovalis rounded one. It didn't do as well with the narrow leaf ones. They just crumbled and died. Actually, not exactly, but they took a long time to get to this stage. A lot of dying and melting happened before they would do that, see? Compared to these ones, which I think I might have hybridized now with one of the Hygrophila bosa and not even realized I did that. Just like the red root floaters have been pollinating and could be crossing with any given thing. Remember that big piece of Anubias last live stream that I said I was going to like put back, and after we cleaned it up, well, none of that happened. I still have a foot-long piece of Anubias rhizome, petite nana, that needs cleaning. That's the kind of week it's been, though, people. Yeah, here's how ragged these guys are looking when they were above the water. They just look all crispy, crunchy like bacon. Still haven't gotten this guy to take off for me. The perps can't seem to get it to come to a head, but it does look like it might be getting to a point where it would split. And then also, Will Cardio sent me. Oh, sound? Can you hear me? Audio no good. Is this better? Hello? Hello? I don't know what happened there. It was close to the light. I wonder if the light was interfering or if I just got like a drop of water in the microphone or something. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. So sorry. I'm so sorry. And then the other thing is this purple string of hearts is like I told you, it's growing 2 inches a day, predictably, which is awesome. And it looks, or bleeding heart, string of bleeding heart, I don't know what to call it, but it looks cool. It's all purple. And the sundew that's not in the bag has split into two, and it looks like we have maybe something that's going to come up and flower. Also looks like we might have like a little aphid or something on that. But the one that has been in the bag for the same amount of time and never been opened has gotten super tall going for the light. The bottom leaves have rotted and died, and it doesn't have the fuzzies except for on the very tips of the leaves. Is that not? I don't know. It's just an experiment. But, yeah. They sound like Dalek. Uh-oh. Not good. Simon White, what's up? You blame Big Brother, not me. Well, that's good. Variegated string of hearts. Thank you. See? Me not knowing what's going on. Alex got assimilated. Yes, the Borg have gotten me. The Pib Borg. Alright, guys, I don't want to trample on Friday night stream. I know who's coming on in 10 minutes, who you all know and love, and some of you watch, and that is Lucas Bretz, followed by, I don't know if they're going tonight. Kenny, are you going tonight? You and the Booty Boys going tonight? What's going on? Because if you are, I do, actually, you know what? Real talk, I do like Mr. Pibb quite a bit. As long as it's really cold, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Dr. Pepper is just kind of a classic, but Dr. Pepper has more sugar. I feel like I should record a music video in here tonight. Like, I don't know. Do you believe in love after love after love after love? Just trying to think of a disco ball. Very lit up. I heard you say, yeah, yeah, yeah. What's that? Is that Usher song? Or is that Justin Timberlake? I don't even remember. Don't care. I don't listen to either of them. You take a break during the LRB, but come back for the Booty Boys. Well, that's good to know, Jimmy P. So, Cylons are from Battlestar. Well, Blue Milk is from Star Wars. Nino, what did Nino ask? How did I miss it? How did I miss it? My mother colony of what? Does anyone know if he's still... Oh, yes, I did lose my mother colony of Malawa shrimp. I did lose 42 pregnant shrimp and 330 plus shrimp. They were my robust, widespread genetics. What I would do is I would pull pregnant ones out of there and put them into different tanks. Their babies would then grow up. Then I would take pregnant babies from all the different tanks and put them in that mother colony because that colony, for some reason, don't know why, the substrate was 6.5 years old. It just was like gold for making them pregnant like that, like clockwork. So I do have Malawas. I do have blue Malawas, but they are the blue Malawas for one are down to lower numbers. Like I've got 50 maybe, which may sound like a lot, but when you have a colony and you're breeding, that's not many. And then I do have a bunch of the normal ones. So I'll let you guys know. There's a bunch of babies growing out in a couple different tanks. So the normal Malawa that are color changers of all different sorts of color that are all easy, I'll be selling those again. I need to get one order fulfilled that has paid me already. Well, Holly too. But other than that, I kind of got to a wrap up point, and then I'm doing the cleanup on what was left, and then I was going to kind of wait for the colony to rebound and make sure that that tank can still even support shrimp because there's none in there now. So, yeah, I asked if you were in the Booty Boys tonight. I didn't recall seeing it. Come on, tell me! The leg. Oh, that question. Vango boys are back in town. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. We'll spend the night together. Boom, boom, boom. No? Nobody? Yes, the Booty Boys will be on Fish Room Fever tonight. All right, we'll go over to Fish Room Fever at 7:30 and check out the Booty Boys. It is all porn, all 24/7, all right. No, it's not. It's family friendly entertainment where the phrase booty has nothing to do with your bum. It has to do with your shoes. So it's like what's with shoes and bums, like thongs. The Booty Boys could be showing off their thongs, and that would be good, clean family fun. But everybody's gonna misinterpret it. Yeah, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here, and yes, Discordia creates. I am propagating plants, both emerged, just planted in the soil, some of them, and I'm just learning their forms. I'm learning how hot they can take it. I'm learning how cold they can take it. I'm learning the pHs and things. There's not a lot of information on keeping the native stuff in our state in aquariums, so I'm basically making it up as I go, bugging Crystal Castleman and Karen Randall every now and then in between. There isn't even Latin names for a lot of this stuff. There's like a Latin genus, and then like they'll give it a collection point name. So yeah, I will be trying all these things though. I want to get another, like what I need to do is save up and get another CO2 system for a 40 breeder, and then I can do what I'm doing on this tank here with all the color and everything. I can do that with the native plants. Like I want to keep them separate so they don't hybridize right away. And then I do have one tank where I'm hybridizing them on purpose. So there's that. And no one knows what happens when you do that. That's the fun part, is like the immersed form may look completely like one species and the submerged may look completely like another, or it may look like a whole new species altogether. It's pretty cool. Hybrids are not really well known or talked about in the hobby, other than a few key ones like Ludwigia ex lacustris is well known, or like Hygrophila ex corymbosa and Rosenvig. So yeah, any case, or the Aponogetans that are like Crispus X, any of the Aponogetans, they all seem to cross, and so do the lilies. But yeah, so I will inform you guys when that happens, but for now it's just a lot of time and taking notes and going out collecting, which takes a lot of time and doesn't bring. I mean, I have literally 150 hours of me going on hikes with GoPro and this, and then yeah, I really don't know what to do with the footage because it's not going to interest everyone, and it's a lot of just downtime of me like stumbling through the woods like I'm fat and like going down like steep embankments and then tripping into creeks and then being like, oh, I made it to the creek, and then the fish all just scatter and you don't see any for an hour, and then I'm like, damn it, and I break my rod, and then go home. Like, it's not a very good video, right? But you know what? I don't care if it's not a good video. Well, yeah, I do. I should say, I don't care if it's a waste of time. That's what I enjoy doing. And if it means that I discover one new plant or two new plants or a new hybrid and it's something that works for the hobby and it's something that's fun, then great. Uh, Also, just another little note, check out this bad boy. I was on the way home. There was well, maybe you guys can't see this, but I got a fly rod, and a 9-foot pole from a garage sale. It is a Shakespeare pole, which is a brand. I mean, it's not the American made stuff or anything. It's the overseas stuff. But then I got also a Shakespeare reel. The what is it? The SKP 2000S. It's a nice reel for salmon fishing, downrigger, halibut. So you guys will probably be seeing a video of me going out with my dad. It's smooth as a baby's behind, although I can't do it one-handed, the action. But yeah, should be, yeah, so, yeah. It's an ugly stick. Yeah, that's right. So, hopefully we'll be going on the Puget Sound, seeing some whales, animals. I'll bring you along for that trip. But no more trips to ponds unless something notable happens or I get new species on the species list. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for joining me, for listening to me, for being my therapy, and just, hanging out. Survival of the fishiest. Welcome. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much, Regina. You were too kind. And Connor, thank you so much. All of you guys who are members, all of you guys who are hanging out, asking questions, just being positive and awesome. Thank you. And mods, I don't think we even needed a mod tonight, but thank you. And lurkers, replay crew, all of you guys, you rock. It's always slow during the summer, and you guys are warming the cockles of my heart. You'll be in my heart. You'll be in my heart. Okay, no, that's not happening. Doom, 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 doom. All right, now that you have Toto stuck in your head, have a wonderful evening. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Bye, guys.